mixed up. It's like, like I said, it's like creamy peanut butter. That's about the consistency of it. It will, if you hold your thumb up, or if you hold your spoon up with Thinset on it, and it will eventually fall off. But you don't want it just dripping off of the spoon. You don't want that Thinset to be just dripping off the spoon. The tile that I'm using is the tile that goes on the top. Is pretty smooth. See, the ones that are at the edges are pretty smooth. This one is that I cut right there. That side is too sharp. So I want to have that sharp end. I want to have that at the bottom. At the bottom of where I'm not gonna touch it, or where just people cruising by are not gonna really touch it. If they do touch anything, then I would like them to touch this somewhat smooth edge on the top of the tile. What I'm doing is I used my spoon and I got a couple clumps, or a couple clumps, I guess, of Thinset, of my Thinset mixture, and I dabbed them onto my my piece of tile that I'm going to be attaching to the wall there. And the trowel here, what I want to do with the trowel is I want to put in I want it to be, what do they call those, serrated edges, or it's got lines, little divots, I guess. I'm not sure exactly how you call it, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But you see how I'm going to show you on a piece of the tile. It is, it's like weave almost. So anyway, or rows of corn, I guess, kind of like that. So anyway, I get it all laid out. I used my trowel, had it laid out. I want this smooth side to be facing up, and the sharper end, the end that I cut, I want that facing down at the bottom. And I want my tile, my 16 by 16 tile, my 16-inch wide tile, to be matching up with the tile that is on the ground. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. And what I did was I hit the tile with my fist. You see how it's matched up, but the 16-inch wide tile is matched up with the previous tile that's on the ground. Well, that's what I'm talking about. So anyway, there's another, see that it's a smooth edge. So there's a smooth edge on the left, and then a sharp edge on the right of the tile. The sharp edge on the right of the tile is part of the tile that I cut, with my my tile cutting machine yesterday. So anyway, I'm just getting little dabs and put little dabs of the Thinset on the tile there. I'm gonna get my trowel there, and I say, this is what they say, that butter it on like butter. Spread it on like butter. That's what I'm doing here. I'm spreading it on like butter. can have the angle, you can have the, I guess, the cornrows. You could have them angled, or you could have them all straight. Doesn't really matter. As far just have them straight. I think it's just have them straight is fine, especially whenever you're fixing tile. You're attaching the tile to the wall, because it's very, very unlikely that people are going to hit the tile really, really hard, or they're going to do something to pry the tile off. This is Thinset. This is Thinset that I got on there, and Thinset Thinset will attach really nicely to the wall. So I'm buttering it up here, and it'll be attached really nicely to the wall. And I'm still gonna, I'm still pushing in the tile into the wall there, just so I can get a pretty good bond. That's why see here, I'm gonna use my fist a little bit, just to kind of pound it into the wall a little bit. Not real hard, I'm not trying to knock a hole in the wall or anything like that. I just want to get it attached pretty nicely to the wall. So that one's attached pretty good to the wall. And I got one more. This one has sharp edges. Sharp, I guess, is on the 16-inch side. It's sharp on one 16-inch side, and it's sharp on the other 16-inch side. So these ones, preferably, I like to have the ones that have the sharp, kind of the sharp edges near the corners, because it seems like more likely that people are going to brush up against tiles that are in the middle of the room instead of in the corner. There's what I would do with my trolley. I'm gonna braid it out here. I'm gonna fan it out, I guess is what they call it. Spread it out. Spread out the Thinset. And I get a good coverage of the Thinset all over the tile, all over the back of the tile. Remember, if your Thinset is too soupy, or if it's too hard, see, if it's too soupy, then it will just go flop, flop, flop. It will come off easily. Or if it's too hard, then it won't even attach to the tile. So you want something like creamy peanut butter, like a consistency of creamy peanut butter, and that's what I got here. See, it won't fall off. Well, little bits and pieces, but nothing really will fall off if I hang it on the ground, hang it facing the ground. None of the Thinset will actually just fall off of the tile and go onto the ground. Again, I'm using my fist to kind of gently push, gently punch up against the wall so that it gets good attachment with the wall, so that Thinset gets pretty good attachment with the wall. And another thing, after this Thinset, when it hardens, it gets extremely hard to take off. You have to use a wet rag, and you have to use it for a few minutes to try and take one little section of Thinset off of the tile, because you want your tile to look good. You want it to look pretty. You don't want to have it look bad. So you want to clean it so it would be good to use a wet paper towel right after you get done attaching your tile to the wall, and just go over it lightly and make sure that you don't have any thinset that's sticking out or anything like that. Just make sure that all the edges are clean on your tile, and that you're not going to, when it dries, then there's not going to be any thinset sticking out anywhere along the tile. So I think I'm good. This is what it will look like. This is what it looked like after I was done. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to grout in between those edges. Well, actually, no. Let me rephrase that. What I'm going to do next is actually there was some sides that I still needed to cut tile and attach them to the wall. Well, I'm going to do that next. But I just kind of wanted to give you guys an idea, and just to start off a project. Sometimes the hardest part of starting a project is getting it started. Once you get it started, then you can move along. But anyway, it's also very important that you clean your tools after you get done. With sticking or getting the thinset mixed up, and then applying it to the tile and attaching the tile to the wall. So I'm going to clean the spoon right here, and I really want to make sure to clean that spoon pretty good, because if I don't clean it, then my wife is really going to know which spoon I used for Thinset, and she's not going to be too crazy about that. So anyway, and this is the dog food container. I don't know if we're probably going to throw this away because it's got a crack in it now. But it's only plastic, so it's only a little plastic container, so it's okay to throw it away. Here's my trowel with the what do they call them, serrated edges, or I don't know, I can't think of what those are called. So that's pretty clean now, and the container that I used is pretty clean now. I'm probably gonna throw that away. And the spoon's clean. So just gotta wait for it to dry. Probably gonna put it in the sink anyway.